In this video, I'm going to show you how to create 9 different Christmas gift tags. I apologize because I have laryngitis, so please bear with me throughout the video. I'm going to be using my Stonehenge Aqua cold pressed watercolor paper for this tutorial. And I'm just going to start by creating each rectangle for each individual gift tag. With my ruler along the top, I'm going to mark every 2.5 inches. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing along the bottom. And then I'm going to connect those lines. And I'm going to do the same thing, only at 3.5 inch intervals along the longer sides of the paper. You can make these tags any size you want. I just thought that 2 by 3 approximately would be good. The reason I added that 1/2 inch was so that I could apply some washi tape in between. And this way I don't have to worry about one block overlapping another one or paint getting into a block that I didn't want paint in. To begin, I'm just going to start with some of the backgrounds of some of these. I'm going to kind of be working on these tags simultaneously. So as I wait for one to dry, I'm going to be working on another one. For the first one, I wanted kind of a black and blue foggy background. For the second one here, I just wanted a light blue wash. And then for the third one, I'm going to do a red sort of pinky background color. And as I let those dry, I'm taking a number 6 brush and I'm just creating really sketchy random lines along the background of one of the tags. This one's really easy. It's just like candy cane striped watercolor tag. For the next one, I wanted to create sort of a wreath effect like I've done in my previous watercolor card tutorials. So I'm gonna somewhat mimic what I did previously with the leaves going around, and then I'll add in a couple berries. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, definitely check out my holiday card series because some of these techniques will be presented in those ones. For the next one, I wanted to do a tree design. I'm just going to map out where I'm going to put the to and from text, just so I don't forget about it when I'm painting the trees. Once again, if you want to learn how to do trees, I have a bunch of different tutorials and paintings that I've done, including trees. But basically, just using a fine-tipped brush, you're just going to do lots of little strokes in the shape of a tree. For this one, I wanted to do some ornaments, so I just created some big red balls, and I'm going to allow those to dry while I work on the next one. This one's going to include little illustrated hanging lights, so I've just created the strings first using black, and then with different color paint, I'm just creating these sort of egg-shaped lights. I'll let that dry and move on to the next one, where I'm going to do a similar kind of wreath, only this time I'm going to use little sprucey twigs and little leaves of holly and different sorts of florals. And when everything's dry, I'm going to be going in with some detail pens just to finish everything off. Right now, I'm just filling in any white space that I have left with some green leaves. And for the next one, I wanted to make sort of the top section of this tag covered in red roses. So creating those roses, as always, I start in the center, creating the little bud shape in the center, and then using C shapes around the perimeter of that interior circle. I'm just going to keep extending those shapes outwards. And then I'll fill in any additional white space with some green leaves. Once again, I have many different tutorials showing you how to create flowers, so definitely check those out if you want to learn how to do this more in depth. But for now, I'm just going to fill in that entire area at the top with the roses and make sure I get any white spaces that I've missed. The next tag is going to be based off of a Christmas card that I did previously. This was one of the really simple Christmas card tutorials, perfect for beginners or kids, and I just thought it would be nice to have a matching gift tag. So I'm just creating squares and rectangle boxes, and I'm just filling those in with complementing colors. And while I wait for those to dry, I'll go back to one of the previous tags. I'm just going to add the little tops of the light bulbs using lamp black. And then I'm going to work on the tree tag a little bit more. I wanted to add in a little bit of a darker green, as well as some additional trees. I thought it needed a little more color, so I'm just adding a minty green to the bottom and just letting it blend out. Now for some detail, I'm using my Posca white paint pen, and I'm just adding some details to these ornaments. You can decorate the ornaments however you like. I just did some really simple designs. With my Tombow mono drawing pen, I'm going to sketch in some of those tops of the ornaments as well. And continuing with that paint pen, I'm going to create some extra details on each of the tags. And now is the time when I can go in and finish off this first tag. I had this idea of doing some really large snowflakes in the front, and then filling the entire tag with white dots of snow. So to begin, I've just created a geometric shape in the center, and then off of these stems, if you want to call them that, I'm going to create a V, a line, a V, and a V. You can see how I've done that here. And then I'm going to create another one slightly smaller with the same design. And then I'm going to fill that entire area in just by dotting on little specks of white throughout the entire background. With the same pen, I'll just add in a little bit of snow to the trees. And also some highlights on the berries. And then I can start decorating the presents that I created previously. I am just doing the same techniques that I did in the video for the card, and just decorating each package however I feel like. You can do any pattern, any design you want on each of these boxes. Just remember to leave one box blank so that you can write the to and from information. With that Tombow mono drawing pen again, I'm just going in and adding a little bit of detail to some of these leaves. And then adding a little bit of snow to the ornament tag. When you're done, you can rip off the tape and you'll have some nice crisp lines. Now is the time when everything is dry that you can go in and add in your little to and from details. I'm just showing you where I decided to place mine. You can put them wherever you want to, but this worked out well. Now it's time to cut them out, so I'm taking some really sharp scissors and I'm just going to cut along those lines that I made before. And then I'll cut closely to the actual edges of the tag itself. When you're done with these, you can also add a little hole punch through the top center and attach a string if you want to. Right now I'm just cutting some of the corners off, a couple of them, because I wanted that classic tag shape, if you know what I mean. And that's all there is to it, you guys. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Again, I apologize for my voice, and I hope to see you in the next video.